Batman, 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 Batman. What the fuck? Hey guys, Psycho Anarchy here with another movie review for you. Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice spoiler-filled review. That's right, it's time for the spoiler-filled review. Sadly, Senpai cannot be with me today, but whatever, I'll just do it on my own. Now, guys, Batman vs. Superman, you've had the weekend to watch it and all that other good shit, so let's get right down to it. Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice spoiler-filled reviews. Spoilers. Now, as I said on my previous review of it, I said right away that the movie was spoiled by the Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice trailer number 2, when they revealed Doomsday. And in essence, you get the whole gist of the movie. Now, let's start with the negatives first, because I saw this movie twice now, and I'm actually going to admit, I liked it the second time around more than the first time. I guess you could say maybe this movie gets better with more viewings of it, so you could appreciate more certain things, but we'll get to that when we get to that, and it's probably just me anyways. So guys, let's get to the negatives. First, let's start off with the obvious thing. This movie is a mess. It's a jumbled up mess. It doesn't know what it wants to be, and it's not Batman versus Superman. By the way, all these negatives, they're all intertwined into one, as in they're all one big negative. This movie is just all over the place. It's a setup for the DC universe. It has a very weak plot that does not feel natural. So the villain is he wasn't as good as I really hoped it'd be. And again, Batman versus Superman did not feel natural. When I saw the trailers, when the original trailers were coming out, the fight between these two heroes felt really natural. Man of Steel, Superman, thought this guy is a menace, this guy is a threat, he is a vigilante outside the law, he kills people, I have to put him down before he does anything worse. And the same thing with the Dark Knight Batman, where he's just like, this is an alien menace who could destroy the world if he wanted to, and I've seen what this man could do, we need to take him down. Now that right there should have felt natural enough. No, that is where the movie failed. It did not make the fight natural. It did not feel like the fight was going to happen because it's a must. No, it felt so fake and so out of, like, it's like they had no choice but to fight. Because Lex Luthor manipulated Superman into fighting Batman because he has his mom. Instead of Lex Luthor, what they should have done, in my personal opinion, this is me talking, this is my personal opinion, don't hate on me, just respect my opinion for God's sakes, like, for fucking crap, man, it's First Amendment shit. They should have made it that Lex Luthor, Jesse Eisenberg, played both sides, where he played sides with Superman and Batman, where he worked with Bruce Wayne and saying, yes, this guy's an alien menace and all that stuff, we need to take him down. He'll be taking his secret fundings into creating Doomsday, and then with Superman, he could be like, you know what, I may not trust you, but there's this other guy over in Gotham who is just as bad, if not worse than you are you going to do anything about him? He's like, what do you mean? Well, he kills people, like, indiscriminately, just cause. You kill for a reason. He kills just because he can. And Superman could be like, you know what, you're right, this guy is also out of control. He's just as out of control as I am. But instead, Superman had no choice but to fight Batman. He didn't want to fight Batman after what Lex Luthor, forced him to. Batman was the only one who wanted to fight. Because he saw, that's exactly it. It's not natural. The fight was not natural. It did not feel natural. It should have been that way. But no, they went with the whole convoluted bullshit of again, guys, listen. This is the problem with this movie. It did not focus up. It focused too much on setting up the rest of the DC universe. And the villain was, he was off. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. When I saw it the second time around, I paid attention to some of the lines he delivered. For example, when he was speaking to Superman, he had some really great scenes, like really powerful scenes, where he said that if God is all-powerful, then he is not all good. And if God is all good, then he is not all-powerful. Those were great scenes. That's something Lex Luthor would say. And when he wasn't twitching around like that, then he would have been a much better Lex Luthor. I remember, I thought that, when I first saw his whole, like, flamboyant, boys, like, his flamboyant personality, I thought it was a facade to hide the calculating, cold, smart, unbreakable demeanor that is Lex Luthor. And there are moments where it does stand out like that. But, again, he is still mostly a twitchy, little freaky guy who, just his motivations for wanting to kill Superman was just the fact that he's an alien, he's a threat, blah blah blah. This guy might get in my way. Because in the comic books, or like in the comic books, in the newer version of the comic books, he hates Superman because he feels as though people will rely too much on Superman and there won't be any natural evolution in humanity. Now, aside from the whole setup of the DC universe, like the fights not feeling natural at all or any of that stuff, there's still actually a lot of good. Ben Affleck is Batman for starters. Right off the bat, I don't need to say anything else. He is Batman. I'm going to say this here and fucking now. Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, you guys did your job magnificently, but Ben Affleck as Batman is the fucking Batman. He is the Dark Knight. He is the vengeance in the night. That man is Batman. There's nothing you could say about him. And his friend, and Jeremy Irons as Alfred was also awesome. There was so many funny one-liners Alfred said, and there was also the fact that he was also avidly against Batman fighting against Superman. He's like, you're gonna go to war? This guy's not our enemy. What can I get through to you? And there's also that one scene where Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne says, if it's 1%, even if it's a 1% chance that he is an enemy, we're gonna have to take it as an absolute. And that is the cool thing. I loved Ben Affleck as Batman. He is Batman. Suck on it, haters. If you still hate Batman for Ben Affleck as being Batman, you're just hating him for the sake of hating him. Maybe you have some legit reasons aside from him whole killing people, because that was fucking savage, by the way. But other than that, there's really nothing you could say that, because this is Batman. This is Batman. I never thought I'd say anybody else other than Christian Bale, but Ben Affleck is Batman. Period. So Gal Gadot also as Wonder Woman. She was awesome. She was very interesting to see. She's back in the world because she said herself she walked away from it 100 years ago. But we'll see what happens and all that stuff now that she's back in the world. And I also love her in her Wonder Woman outfit. And she's fighting Doomsday. And she's like, ah! And so many awesome shit about Wonder Woman. I was so happy to see her. Finally. They get Wonder Woman. They give her one try on the big screen. And they do it justice. Dawn of Justice. But also, Henry Cavill's Superman, he's still a Superman. I like him as Superman. He did his job. Another negative I do have to bring up. Lois Lane, she was all over the place, really. One moment she was useful, one moment she was not. What was she there for again? Damsel in distress? Jeez, Lois Lane. Okay, Amy Adams, Lois Lane, she did a great job, but yeah, she could have done a better job. I really wanted to find her purpose. She really didn't have a purpose other than being Superman's love interest, and also, you know, being one of his motivations to being a hero, I guess you could say. But other than that, whatever. Now, another thing is, again, even though I don't like some of the things Jesse Eisenberg did as Lex Luthor in Batman vs. Superman, I can't deny it. There was a lot of great scenes. How we talk about how power cannot be innocent, about God, like all that stuff with all power, and all of that one scene. I do love that one scene where he said, and now God kneels to me. That is something Lex Luthor would love to say and do. And he has. It's just, those scenes alone should have been the main Lex Luthor, cold and very egomaniacal. That's what Lex Luthor should have been. But regardless, there was also the fact of Doomsday. The fight with Doomsday. Oh my god, listen. Even though he was like a big monster, I love the fact that he was evolving on the fly. And dude, that fight, man. Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman fighting together. Even though it was a big spoiler in the trailers, I love the fact that we saw that. This is the dawn of the Justice League, the dawn of DC Universe. Even though it's actually a big pro and also major con, but I've already said before that should have been saved for later. But regardless, there was also a lot of really cool cameos, but I think that's also, again, big pros to the cameos as well as the big cons. They should have been saved for subtlety. I really do think people are gonna hate on me for this. DC should have followed some of Marvel's examples in have them set up their heroes in subtle ways. Because in Iron Man 2, though that movie is not that good compared to the other Marvel movies, I do like how in the background at the end, you see the map of the world and you see Wakanda. You see them pointing out different various locations of where heroes could be. Easter eggs. Instead, they kind of made it blatantly obvious. Here's Aquaman just floating like that. Floating. You see Cyborg from the comic books getting upgraded, like Victor Stone becomes Cyborg thanks to the Mother Box and a whole bunch of Apocalypse technology. But without a doubt, my favorite cameo is the Flash cameo. That was a really cool cameo because the Flash would have the ability to do that. I have no problem with the Flash's cameo when he comes to Bruce with a vision of the future and all that stuff. That was really cool because I remember in Crisis on Infinite Earths when Barry Allen was running around the Anti-Monitor's machine, he was going through all periods of time. He was going from the future, past, and present, where he ran into Batman, he ran into Wally, and he's just like, Bruce, you have to warn this, it was all true, you were right all along, all that shit. Lois Lane is the key. I really hope Lois Lane is not the key. I don't want her to be the key. That'd be really fucking stupid. I don't want it. Also, the whole Mad Max Batman is really awesome as well. I could see Parademons. Darkseid is coming. It's really happening, all that shit. But again, just this movie, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 now. I'm buffing it up because, like I said, I liked it the second time around, but I'm not going to take back all my criticisms of it. This movie has a lot of flaws. It has a lot of problems. If you are blind to it, if you're a true comic book fan, you cannot be blind to its problems. You'd be a fucking moron if you're blind to the problems. Because every movie has its problem. Even the original Avengers that everybody universally loves has problems, without a doubt. The Hawkeye being one of them. The whole quick, just getting them together. There's problems with each and every movie. It's like, you cannot deny that. You cannot deny that. I'm not denying that I was underwhelmed by Batman vs Superman, but I'm also not denying that the second time around, I actually liked it more. I'm not denying its criticisms, I'm not denying anything, but as a true comic book fan, you have to acknowledge the problems. Otherwise, it shows that you're just blind to it. I'm a Marvel fanboy, but I'm not going to be blinded to saying Iron Man 2 and Incredible Hulk is the weakest of the Marvel Universe movies, and that Fantastic Four was a fucking piece of shit. I'm not going to be blind to that. Avengers Age of Ultron, while I loved, had a lot of problems. And I saw the deleted scenes recently of Avengers Age of Ultron, and I was like, why the fuck did you leave that out? That would have added so much more to the original product. But regardless, guys, I'm again I'm buffering up my original score from 7 out of 10 to 8 out of 10. So at least I'm being honest here, guys. Again, this movie, I love it, but at the same time, I hate how it underwhelmed me. This was supposed to be the grand entrance to the DC Universe, and it didn't really impress me that much. Suicide Squad, you have to fucking do fantastic, because Suicide Squad, again, it looks more promising than, Dawn of Justice, because Suicide Squad is focusing on a lot of different, it's also introducing the villain side of the DC Universe, but I think with David Ayer at the helm, he could do a much better job. I really do hope that, this doesn't really deter it, because it's made $424 million over the weekend. This is the biggest comic book box office opening globally. While it did not beat out Age of Ultron or the original Avengers, it still made a shit ton of money. It's halfway to $1 billion by this point in time. And with not a lot of movies coming out until May, it's really unopposed. I think it could make $1 billion in like 2-3 weeks, 4, because that's what Avengers did. Avengers made $1 billion in a month. That was amazing. And this movie could do the same. But regardless, guys, again, there's a lot of criticism with this movie, which is justified in some cases. But I really, really do love this movie. A part of me wants to love this movie, and I do, but I'm not going to deny that there's problems with it. If you do that, you're an idiot. So, there's really not much else to say. Daredevil Season 2, by the way, review is coming soon. It's coming soon. And this is Psycho Culture's Anarchy here, signing off. Like, comment, subscribe, or whatever the fuck you want to do. And to all you psychotics out there, you better stay crazy, motherfuckers. Stay crazy for the Dark Knight, because I'm